Well, hello, and good evening, everyone. If you are streaming live on Facebook and YouTube or any of the other social media platforms, go ahead, click like and click share. Like I said, click like and click share because if you are in the place tonight, you are in for a treat. We're gonna have some grown folks conversation up in here tonight, and who other than to have this wonderful conversation with, besides my pastor, awesome man of God, my three-star director. Him and his wife, Lady K, have been in this business going on 6 years now, I want to say. And we have traveled all over the place together, taking cruises and all that good stuff. So without further ado, I want to shout out my J Howe family. I just love my J Howe family down in San Antonio, Texas. But I'm about to bring forth my team, three-star director, Pastor Mel Keys. Come forth, big bruh, and bless us with your presence. Hello,
Baby
good
girl, it's
sir.
always good to see you, sweetheart. You've certainly been on my mind because I'm going to find a way to jump off in that bag. I understand you headed to Dubai. Is this right?
I am.
Oh my
I
God.
am. six
What a
days, well,
time.
7 days in Dubai. I'm so excited. I
Ooh,
don't
we going to talk
even know
about
what
some.
to pack. I don't know what to wear. I'm just excited. I just know I'm going.
Don't wear no winter coats. Could I tell you that?
Um, well, you don't have to tell me that we're gonna be in the desert, so I know I won't have to
Yes.
wear pack winter clothes.
My God. You about to have the time of your life. We'll talk more
Oh
about
yeah.
that. But we got to get into some conversation on tonight. Good evening, Carol. It's good to see you, my love. Thank you for chiming in. As a matter of fact, Johnny, if you'll put this in our group, I didn't
Doing
even
it
have
right
time to
now.
do that. I was getting ready. It's been that kind of day. We're on the tail end, as you know, of our 72nd church anniversary at the Joshua
Yes.
House Worship.
Happy anniversary, J Howe.
Yes, and it has been a 4 day run of unbelievable, incredible. What's that word you use? Super what? Super.
Supercalifragilisticexpialidocious.
Yeah, all that kind of stuff. Yeah.
I know that sermon on yesterday on Roof was good. It was
Mm,
good
that was
to
part
me.
2. Shout out to my good friend, my baby brother, Pastor James. He man, listen, I'll
Yes, he
never
did the
never
thing.
look
Yes,
at the book of Ruth the same way again.
right.
Same way again. That was some grown folk conversation
Oh
too.
yeah.
But
It
today
took
we're
me.
gonna talk
It shook
about it.
me out of my. It shook me out of my mind state of where I was
Yeah,
and transported me somewhere else. So it's like I'm getting my. I'm taking them steps. I'm 1, 2, 3 step. One, two, three
yeah, yeah. We stepping. We
step.
stepping. We got to
On
step.
down, stepping to stepping on way.
Absolutely. And that's a good segue into this conversation of grown folk conversation. Because I want to talk first about fear and excuses. And I know I got the right person to help me dialogue with this thing and to tie it into what it is that we're a part of. This conversation of fear, y'all. We're not trying to make nobody feel a certain way. We're not trying to, belittle anybody, but it is what it is. We're having grown folk conversation. Let's pull up a chair. Come on, come on. Let's reel it in. Let's talk.
Yeah, get
Yeah,
comfortable. Yeah,
yeah.
let's
Get
be
comfortable. Take off your
transparent.
shoes. Take off your
Yeah.
shoes. Because I'm looking around this earth as I travel here, there, and everywhere, and I'm beginning to see, baby girl, that we got some grown folk that have been so stagnated in their fears, so
Mm.
steeped in their fears, so saturated in their fears. They around here quoting the scripture. God has not given me the spirit of fear, but
And
power,
scared to death.
love, and a sound mind. And they scared to death. I'm like,
Scared
man,
to death.
it's not good enough just to quote the scripture. I know you
Right. You
look.
got to be
I know you know it, but my
right.
God,
Right.
we dealing with so many frightened, scary people today. And at some point, y'all, we got to face our fears.
Yes.
We got to face our fears. That doesn't mean, I hear people say, well, I don't like to talk to people. I'm afraid, that don't mean you're going to have to be, on a stage with 10 million people and all that. That's not, but man, you got to be able to, if you got some folk you need to have a conversation with.
Right. But the Bible tells us that we have to face our fears. We got to confront
Yes.
them head on, and we got to
Yes.
tell people about them. We got to talk
Yeah.
about it.
How many things are we held back from because we've never faced our fears? I won't get too scriptural tonight, but one, Joshua, one thing that should come to our understanding, come to our remembrance, is the people of God, Israel, moving into the promised land. Moses had the spies. Well, actually, the spies, it was their idea, but the spies went out, and only two of the 10. I mean, only 2 of the 12 came back. The other 10, them jokers, they was all lying on lies with fear and alibis, and we look like this, and we grasshoppers in their sight. Like, how you know what you look like to them? You looking at yourself, and you're projecting how you think about yourself that other people see you the same way. We could go to Gideon. We can go over and over throughout the scriptures of folk that were literally just engulfed in their fear until God. And that's maybe why in the scripture we hear it over and over and over, hundreds, thousands of times probably, about fear not. Be of courage. Because God, oh Lord, he wants us to deal with our fears. And it's not that we don't, and I think some people lie on it, and we get too spiritual. We say we don't have no fears. I don't think that's what we need to go to that space. But we need to own our fear and then face it. Yes. But we'll never face it if we don't first own it. Confront that thing. Let me know if this is talking to anybody. Hey, Minister Carol, we glad to see you, beloved. Benicia Gully, good to see you. Thank you for chiming in as well. Somebody put it in the comments, hashtag face your fears. Confront your fears. This is the perfect season. Come on. We're coming in. Second quarter's here. We're coming into, now we're moving into the midway of the year, y'all. Don't you get halfway into the year already. It's your fear yet. Man, some of us got some relationships that are stagnated, that are toxic.
Lord.
You afraid to be alone. Come on, man, let's get real. You afraid, well, I'm going to be by myself. What I'm going to do? Well, let me tell you what you're going to do. You're going to make it.
You're going to be all right. I'm a living witness. You're going to be all right.
Born with nobody attached. Well, there are people that like that, but you weren't born connected to nobody like that, that if something happens, come on. You ain't going in the casket when they go in the casket. I hope, face that thing. Right. And if you find yourself by yourself, understand this. You should be in good company because you still got Jesus. Face your fears. You got to face your fears. And some of the things we're going to talk about tonight, it is imperative that you face your fear. You got to come on now. Peter had to get out that boat. He took a risk now. Yeah. Because the other jokers, they were like, look at here. We'll be right here, Pete. We'll see you when you get back. Hope we see you.
And he did it while he was scared.
He still did it while he was scared.
He still did it.
Come on now. Put that in the comments, somebody. Still do it. You still got to do it. You still got it to do. You still got to do it. If God has called you to it, he'll bring you through it. Face your fear. This grown folk conversation, y'all. Listen, I don't care. You've been preaching, teaching, prophesying and lying all over the world. The thing of it is, you need to face your fear. And man, I'm so sick of folk act like they so sophisticated and so spiritually this, that, and the other. And they be the scariest folk in the world. Won't take a risk. Won't take
stuff scared.
Man, they're scared, playing scared. Just that's all it is. You ain't got nothing to lose. Scared.
And you know what? I found out once I go through it scared, my thoughts and what I was thinking was gonna happen don't even happen. So I was scared for nothing. I was just like wasted energy.
You wasted a good fear. Something you should have been afraid of.
Right.
Yeah, you come on now. You don't be wasting no fear. If you're gonna be afraid, if you're gonna be scared of the right stuff. Right. Man, we be scared of the wrong stuff 99% of the time. And we need to face them fears. And this is grown folk conversation, but that ain't the only thing we got to deal with. What's going on there, Kev? Here's another one, grown folk conversation. Y'all pull up that chair. Lord have mercy. We got to deal with these things right here. What do you call those, Lady Chief?
Excuses. Lying to yourself. Just making up stuff.
Did you ever meet my big sister in the Lord, Minister Vivian Renee? I think you did. Did you meet her? Were you online with her?
Yes, I was.
She passed a couple of years back. I thought you had met her. Yeah, I thought you had met her. She had this thing. She said, "Excuses are creative lies." That's all they are.
Yes, they are.
And my oh my, can we get creative?
Yes.
Some of us have vivid imaginations. I mean, we should be working hand in hand with Steven Spielberg.
Me, I'm one of them people. Because when we went on that cruise, I ain't gonna lie, I was afraid that the mega liner Big Shark was gonna come and get the ship. Look, I'm just saying, I was afraid. That was my very first. I didn't know what to expect, but I still went. I said, "Look, hey, this is my time to go. Listen, I'm going on a cruise.
You in good company."
I'm with my pastor and my first lady. I'm with my friends. So we all going down on the ship together.
Come on,
if it go down, look, did not go down. And I went on another cruise, turned right around and went on another cruise with my brother.
Look at you flying and sailing and all this kind of stuff.
And then turned around and jumped off a waterfall in Jamaica. And I can't even.
My God.
Now, I should have been scared of that. But I still did it.
No more
have to do things.
No more chasing waterfalls, Diane. No more chasing waterfalls. Come on, man.
Yes. Yes.
But that's what I'm talking about. You had to deal with those creative lies, those internal alibis of, well, what if this happened? What if that? Most of the time, stuff don't happen no way.
Right.
And these excuses are holding us back. We call it logic. Man, it's not even logical. Some of the stuff we're doing is not even logical. You know, but what if a lion is out in, that's what Proverbs says. What if a lion is out in the street? Like, okay. When's the last time you saw a lion in this neighborhood?
Right, in your neighborhood. Come on now. Now, deer is one thing. Bears is another, but a lion.
Yeah. You saw some bears out there. That's different. That's different.
That's different.
But listen, y'all, we got to deal with these excuses. We got to deal with these fears. Come on, let's be real. Put it in the comments right now if you've ever had to struggle with some excuses. Come on. Maybe it's in regard to your physical health and well-being. Maybe it's relational. Maybe it's, business related. Maybe it's school. You know, you needed 3 college credits to graduate with your bachelor's or your master's or your PhD for the past 20 years.
For the last, right. Or you done been in nursing school. I know, so this is a true story. I know somebody that been in this nursing school for like 20 years, and they scared to take the test. But you done been taking the same classes over 20 years now. You ain't got. Come on now, take the test.
Put it in the comments. Take the test, because life is a test.
Yes.
And you got to go through the test to get the what?
The reward.
You won't get that. You won't get that without it. We got to face these excuses because we're holding ourselves back. Many times and tell me if you would agree with this, babe. How many people have you met? We start blaming the devil. We start blaming neighbors, family members, and everybody out there in their family. And we ain't looked in the mirror and we still making the same excuse.
Can I be transparent? I used to be one of those people. I used to be one of those people that was always blaming something or somebody else for the way things was happening in my life. It took me a moment to say, hey, you the one allowing this stuff to happen. You need to check yourself and set boundaries. I had to do that for myself.
Yeah.
So I used to be one of those people that made up excuses for other people as the way why they was treating me a certain way.
Right.
But then I found to realize that it's not up to me to change the way somebody else treat me, but it is up to me to set those boundaries to see if I'm gonna deal with it.
Yes. Listen, I saw something about a year ago. I've seen it since then, but I think a year ago was the first time I saw it. It was I think it was an elephant, and they had some kind of rope tied to this elephant, and the other side to his ankle, and the other side of the rope was tied to, one of those plastic lawn chairs. I mean, you could pick them up and just fling them if you want. They're so light.
Right.
Tied to one of those plastic lawn. It was either an elephant or a mule. One of those. I can't remember which one it was. And tied, the other side was tied to that.
The elephant. And it wouldn't move.
And I said, Lord, if that ain't us. Thinking that
he thought he was stuck.
He thought he was stuck. And all that thing was a little rope that he could have snatched that thing with the blink of an eye. Let's go to some of these comments and see what they're saying. We got Lata is in the house. He said, oh, yes. Kev says, my first time in Jamaica, I swam in the ocean scared, thinking about Jaws swimming under me.
I believe it, because that's how I was.
Trisha Thomas says, all the time.
Yeah, we have a grown folks conversation today.
Yeah. Dwayne
that's
Evans
my brother. Yeah, that's my brother.
He says, take the test. Take the test. Kev, again, that was many years ago. I wouldn't go there now. Now, not that I'm scared. I ain't crazy.
My brother was the reason why I went on and took that, climb up that mountain. He said, get in the water. What you scared of? Get in the water.
Yeah. Look, you got to get in the water. That's where the life goes to the next level. Yes. Coach D, we love you, sis. We'll be there soon. Minister Carolyn says, I struggled, made it through. I've learned struggle is good because it pushes you to your next. If you're going places, truer words have never been spoken. Think of that caterpillar that has to go through metamorphosis into the butterfly. I'm told, I've never done it. I didn't want to be cruel. I've never helped a caterpillar transition by removing the cocoon. I was told, this is what I was told, they need to do it on their own. And that strength, that energy, that power that they get by doing so, that allows them to spread their wings and fly. If that's true, it's not just true for them, it's also true for us. You cannot, come on. Sometimes, even with our children, let's be clear, have we not babied some of our children and spoiled them to the point where we look like, well, why this Joker ain't doing such and such, such and such and such? Yes. Well, maybe you carried him a bit. Come on, a bit too much. Mr. Carolyn says, nothing like learning some sense.
I know that's right. And if you think about it, Pastor Mill, just like the caterpillar turning in and transforming into a butterfly, us as people, when we come out the womb, we don't come out taking off running. We got to learn how to crawl.
We got to learn.
And before we learn how to crawl, we got to scoot across. We still have to learn. We don't just come out automatically knowing stuff.
It's process.
All a process. And if
there's a lot of stumbling.
And if you skip a process, it could be detrimental. Say, like for the caterpillar, say if we help them out of the cocoon, that could kill them.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Because we don't.
It is a process.
The whole process.
Yeah. It is a process where stumbling is intentionally included. You got to learn. That's how you get your balance, by stumbling. And if you don't want them to ever fall down, guess what? They'll never walk. And if they never walk, guess what? They'll never run. So don't take away from the process that people need to get the strength to do what they have the capacity to do if we would just get out of the way. So we got to help people stop making excuses.
Yes.
And we got to be examples of those who don't make excuses. Grown folk conversation, y'all. Pull up a chair. We're going to talk a little bit more. We're going to talk about some things. Let's talk about competition, because there's a whole lot of crazy stuff going on out there. Folk hating on each other. Folk envious. Folk don't talk to each other. Folk won't even, and they try to turn other folk against, and it's a whole lot of that going on because we see each other as, instead of complimenting one another, we see each other as competition. Here's my take, and I've heard many people say it the same way, but I just believe that ain't nobody gonna stop me but me if I'm clear with it. That's just the bottom line.
That's crystal clear.
My competition is me.
Is me.
Yeah.
The inner me.
Yeah. That's it right there. And the thing of it is, there are times when I am an enemy to me, what you just said, and that's who I have to overcome. I have to overcome my excuses. I have to overcome my fears and my false rationalizations. I have to overcome my creative lies. And the next one that we'll be talking about in just a moment, I have to overcome those things. And when I overcome those things, look, God for us, he's more than the world against us. We need to stop thinking that, just because somebody don't like us, they can stop us. What
it's
difference does it
okay.
make whether they like us or not? Okay, you don't like me?
It's okay.
You gonna be all right.
You be all right. Look.
Yeah. I know I am. I'm already all right. But thank you for
And
telling
at
me.
this point, look, thanks for, I was just about to say, thanks for letting me know. So I'll know how to handle you accordingly. But hey,
Yeah,
I got to be pleasing to God and myself at this point.
that's it.
Because
That's
we're
it.
not gonna be everybody's cup of tea. It's
No,
okay.
that's it. And thank you for bringing it out that way. You know, because some folk don't look. I can call no names. You don't see. She don't drink tea.
Believers.
She don't drink tea. Now you know this. She don't drink tea.
Right.
And there's been a few
Right.
times I'm gonna test this girl because I'm tired of her talking about she don't drink tea. I love tea, and I'm tired of her talking about all this stuff. I know she drink tea. She playing with me, so I would switch that Coke. And you know the color can, depending upon you put enough ice in it.
Yes.
The color of that Coke with enough ice in
it.
I mean, and I checked out, did a couple of times, and guess what? She don't like tea.
She ain't like that.
She spit it out. She spit it out instantly.
Like, what you trying to do? She done called your whole government name. See why you playing with Lady Cat?
You see what I'm saying? You see what I'm saying? It was a test, though. It was a test, though. I apologize. But here's the point. We're not everybody's cup of tea, like you just said. Right. And we got to get past that. Just because I'm not your cup of tea or you're not my cup of tea, don't mean I got to compete with you. Right. Don't mean I got to. It doesn't mean that in order, this grown folk conversation, don't mean that in order for me to look larger, to look greater, as they say, let me be great, that don't mean I got to belittle you.
Right.
That don't mean I got to go on offense and knock you down. And, you know, that's my winning strategy for you to lose. Listen, you can win and I can win, and everybody who want to win can win. This
and I'm gonna applaud you while you win.
Listen, don't take nothing away just to say, man, that's you did that.
Congratulations.
Yeah, you look, you inspired me with that. Yeah, I learned something. Appreciate you. Yeah. So we got this grown folk conversation. Everybody didn't learn this in kindergarten now.
No, they didn't teach you. They didn't teach this at home either. Sometimes.
Yeah. You see what I'm saying? You got to get this from somewhere though, because otherwise we go through life. There is Miss Gloria. Much love to you, darling. Otherwise, we go through life with false competitions. And I don't know if you've ever been in a situation, but it's happened to me in the past. You going around swole, folk ain't even thinking about you. You thought they thought this, and then you find out they weren't thinking about you at all. your name didn't even come across the screen of their mind. You understand? Man, and what a waste of time. What a waste of energy.
Yes.
Compete with yourself.
I have not been that person, but I was on the receiving end, and somebody said, I thought you didn't like me. I said, ooh, child, I don't waste no time or energy thinking about who I like, who I don't like. I'm trying to see the world.
Man, I got things to do.
We don't have time for the pettiness. I'm too old for it. I don't know about everybody. I'm too old. I'm on.
Yeah, that's an age. You remember, the grown folk conversation. You remember when we used to think that if you was 35, that was old? Like, you'd be like, dang, they 35. Damn. Woo. Lord.
I heard of a new thing. Coach Deborah's granddaughter is giving her 20s a funeral. That I ain't never heard nothing like that before, but she was funeralizing her 20s because she getting ready to be 30. I was like, what? That's some new stuff.
That's some new stuff right there.
But sometimes you got to bury some things. You got to bury your old ways, your old way of thinking, and stuff like that, and step into your new with an empty plate.
Absolutely. So we got to learn to appreciate all of those. Every one of those decades has something amazing in it, and you just got to pull the best part of it into the new decade you're in. You're absolutely right. Let's talk about this other one right here, baby girl. This grown folk conversation, y'all. Y'all just come on in, pull up a chair. Negativity. And let's just be clear. In the course of any given day, we have tens of thousands of thoughts that run through our head. And the vast majority has been proven by those who do these batteries of tests that the majority of thoughts in the average human being are negative. So how do we handle that? This grown folk conversation. What do we do? How do you handle the negativity when you have, back in the day, we used to have this thing called the gangster lean, where we got this thing, it's a negative lean. We lean towards the negative. We're not inclined, we're declined that way naturally. Naturally speaking, we're on a slippery slope, on a path of negative. It don't take much to set something off that will stir up some negative, and you ready to argue, fight
into that, cut the camera on, film it. I mean, because people like, it's crazy, but negativity sells.
Yes, it does.
I mean, it's so sad.
Yeah, the birth rate of negativity is much. Yeah.
It's more interesting than something positive.
Yeah. If it's positive, it might get 2 likes. I mean, it'll stand alone for the 24-hour period with 2 little likes up there. Ain't nobody put no love up there, but they put 2 little likes up there. But you let something crazy and stupid and raunchy and everything else take place, man, it'll have 400,000. It done going viral in a 2-week period.
Right.
All this kind of stuff.
We gotta be careful over and over again.
Yeah. Grown folk conversation, y'all. That says something about us. That says something about our taste buds, about what appeals to us. And we got to do better, y'all. We got to learn to get that taste out of our mouth. You know, if somebody, if they've been, whatever the thing is they're trying to get away from, detox, they got to get a certain taste out of their mouth. We got to get the taste of negativity out of our mouth to the extent that when somebody brings something negative to us, we don't even want to hear it.
I don't want to hear it. Yeah.
Like,
I'll call you back.
Yeah, I get what you later. Well, call me when you through, or something, because we don't want to give space to that. So we having some grown folk conversation, but I got one more round to go to, and then we're going to bring it in and get ready for this call. There's been some miseducation as it relates in the area of wealth creation. And for those of you who've been watching us for some time, you know that we're both a part of a worldwide travel club that is changing lives and families around the globe, and more than 65 nations strong. It's been in business now for 11 years, debt-free from its very inception to this present moment, operating with 3 headquarters, one in Temecula, California, one in Colombia, the nation, one in Spain, and paid out tens of millions of dollars in commissions to everyday ordinary people, and really and truly just scratching the surface. In fact, February, we had over 2,000 plus new memberships added to this travel club. And here's our claim, and we believe it with our hearts, and that is this: a better life requires a better way. And we're here to tell you right now that we have found it. Here's what the miseducation is. Folk are out there. Now, this is not anything against the job, because thank God for jobs. Thank God for employment and all of that. But too many have been almost thrown into a false American, if you're here in the United States, American dream that too often becomes a nightmare. When you look at the stats, they're saying that close to 50, not quite, but almost 50% of grown individuals in the wealthiest country on the planet, in case of an emergency, or I should say in case of an emergency, when an emergency takes place, almost 50% of those grown individuals can't come up with $1,000 to handle the emergency. This is a problem, y'all. We've been miseducated. How is it that we're so wealthy? We got so much going on, and the vast majority of our grown, we're not talking about children, it's grown folk conversation. The majority of grown people are not able to come up with $1,000. And it's not because they don't work, because they got 1 job, 2 jobs. Some of them got 3 jobs. Mm-hmm. They're also saying that close to 50, not quite 50, but close to 50% of the persons polled in the United States of America, in this nation, have said that they are not ready for retirement. That if they retire, oh Lord, they're like, what's going to happen? Because they're having a hard enough time making it on 100% of their income. Now, when retirement comes and their income is cut, they know they wouldn't make it. That's why when you go to Walmart, that's why when you go to the grocery store, that's why when you go to some of the malls or whatever, you're seeing seniors who are 70 plus in many cases doing things, not because they're doing volunteer work, but they're doing things out of the fact that they were educated. So we're going to talk about that, Tanya, because this is grown folk conversation. So let's bring it in real close. Y'all pull up a chair. We got to have some grown folk conversation. We done talked about the fear. We done talked about the excuses. We done talked about the false competition. We talked about the negativity. We're going to bring it home here, and we're going to talk about this folk problem that folk have, that we don't have residual income, even though there's such a high cost of taxation, and even though there's job instability, and even though there's price increase and inflation. Here it is, they're getting older. They know they can't keep doing the same thing for another 10 years. But at some point, if they stop, they know their whole household will sink. That's a miseducation, y'all. And we got to talk about this as grown individuals. We have something that we have begun to love, and we would ask you to do this for yourself, not for us, to get all the information, to get your questions answered as to how the largest industry on the planet, which is travel, we're talking about right now, presently is somewhere in the neighborhood of between $9 to $10 trillion being spent on an annual basis in this sector. It is projected over the next 10 years, actually a little bit less, that is going to move to plus $15+ trillion. That's over a 50% increase, particularly because, and there are a few reasons, but particularly because Generation X, Y, and Z, the young folk, as we call them,
they ready to go. They out.
They out. They gone. They not watching this right now. They they're on the beach.
Playing in some.
They in Dubai with Tanya. They waiting for her to get there, and all this kind of stuff.
I turned in one of the young folks because I just want to go. I don't want to work nobody's job. I don't want to punch nobody's clock. I'm ready to go.
You see what I'm saying? And what we believe is to have options. We're not telling anybody to quit their job because it may not be time. It may be premature for you to necessarily quit your job. Or maybe you love your job. Maybe you're in a calling, an area where, as I am, ministry, it doesn't matter how much income. I'm still going to do what it is that I'm called to do. Income has nothing to do with it. But here's the thing. It's good to have options. It is good. I'm saying it again. It's good to have options. Not only do you need to have a plan A, you already got that. But you need a B that can become a plan A, right? And sometimes you need a C to go with that. It all depends. But if you get this travel club as your plan B, here's what you can do. You can do one of three things. You can supplement your income and pay for things like upgrades on your travel. You can pay for, first class flights because you're making some extra change. You can travel more often. You can pay cell phone bills. You can pay, you pay off, credit card debt and all that type of stuff. Or that's supplementing your income. Or you can replace your income. We have many people who have totally replaced their income. Thousands who have replaced their income. And that's regardless of what level of income it is, because the only limit that you have is you. So there are people who are teachers, professional educators, and principals and administration, my wife, and all that type of stuff. There are people who are dentists and doctors and lawyers and people of that sort, that caliber, who have replaced their income. There are people who've owned other types of businesses, but they had a burden that they had to, put in 90 hours of work, and if they weren't there, they were losing money, and they had to, get rid of all of that because they wanted to get rid of that burden. And now they're making far more money than they were doing with that. They had construction businesses and they were doing well, making money, but the cost, the burden of their time, not having any time for their family, they didn't even have time to spend the money they were making. Now with this, they're making more money and they got the time to do whatever it is they want to do. So what we're saying is you can replace your income, or you can even exceed your income. I want you to go to the comments real quick. Let me know what type of person you are. Are you the type of person where you want to supplement your income? Are you the type of person where you want to replace your income? Or are you the type of person where you want to exceed your income? Because I promise you this, we're going to close on this, that there is an opportunity. We want you to get all the information. We want you to dot every I, cross every T. We tell you no stories. This is an opportunity that the only one who can stop you and limit you is you. We are part of the best travel secret that there has ever been. And guys, we are doing our best to get the secret out. If you ever wanted to upgrade your life, if you ever wanted to literally write your own check, this is it. You can do it with this worldwide travel club. I'm going to have Coach Tanya to tell us a little bit about some of her experiences and what she has seen up close and personal herself, and then we'll wrap it up from there.
Well, some of the things that I've witnessed and experienced up close and personal is that this is more than a business to me. This is my family. Another thing, I mean, it's one thing to, I've taken 50, I'm getting ready to take my 57th vacation. I've been all over the world, inside the States, and Sister Girl got that passport, and I ain't been in the States since I got the passport. So I've been out of the country for like literally pennies on the dollar, all places that I've actually dreamt of going. So dreams is coming true. Connections are being made. People that I've lost in my personal life have been replaced with, I can't say, yes, I can, with so much better. So much better. The hole and emptiness that I used to feel, I don't feel no more. Being connected with the like-minded individuals in this company has opened up windows of heaven and poured out blessings my way. And it hasn't been room enough to receive it. That's God's great promise. And I remember 4 years ago, before I came into this company, from working a job, working since I was 14 years old, I have not made the type of money that I've made working a job versus the type of money that I'm making in this company. And like you said, the company is just scratching the surface, but I have not even been working this thing full time.
That's right.
Because life has been life in me. And the fact that if I had a job, I wouldn't even have a job with all the stuff that's been going on in my life.
Right.
I mean, the last 4 months, I buried both my grandparents. I buried a son. And that right there, it takes a lot off. And then you got to go punch somebody's clock and be told what to do. And that's a lot. And that's why I feel like there's a lot of people out here that have these jobs, but they don't feel safe in them because you fire somebody, you don't know what's going on in their personal life. They can come back and shoot the place up.
You're right about that.
It's a lot of stuff going on behind the scenes that people don't want to talk about, but it's in talking about it that releases a lot of things.
So listen, guys, there's a quote that you see that I put on the screen, and we'll close with this. This is what one of the wealthiest persons on the planet said. He said, if you don't find a way to make money while you sleep, you'll work until you die. We are not looking for everybody, but we are specifically looking for the person that wants to work with a team of like-minded, as Coach Tanya just said, individuals, that we're in this thing together. It is impossible to lose with what we're talking about, because every dime that you will invest will be an investment in yourself and an investment in vacations and getaways that you want to take anyway. But we're going to show you how to take your investment in this program, and it's going to be greatly not only matched, but multiplied. You'll be able to do more travel with less dollars spent than you've ever done in your life. We're talking about 4- and 5-star destinations, resorts, and hotels all around the world, pennies on a dollar. I'll give you one example. The lady you see on the screen, that 5-star hotel, breakfast for 2 that she's about to experience, she's paying less than $100, not per night, but for the entire time she'll be there. The breakfast alone that she's going to dine on, and she's going to, woo, I need to go with you. That breakfast is $35 a person.
Look, my taste buds is just like, because I'm a foodie.
Get them ready. You're going to love it. So that's $70 of food per day times 6 days. It's $420. So I'm telling you that she's paying less than $100. She's getting $420 of food, and she's getting this luxury suite accommodation. So ladies and gentlemen, all I'm trying to give you is this math, and I'll leave you with this last story. It's my own big sister, Coach Deborah Taylor. Shout out to her. I think she's getting ready for the next call. When she started this business, all she wanted to do was replace enough money so that she can match that with her Social Security, which would have been about $1,500. She has so exceeded that. I think she's much more than 10 times over that, what she wanted to get. And that's just cutting the surface. But here's the big part.
Yeah.
When my big brother, her husband, passed 3 years, next month, 3 years ago, his income in the business was earning $25,000. But we're in the type of business that is a word of mouth business. It's a referral business. And everybody that we refer the business to get a membership in this club, they're winning. And they're going to win with or without us when they get their membership. Well, Pastor Guy was in heaven. He passed on. But the people that he had passed the membership on to, they continue to travel. And they're going to Dubai and spending $100 for the entire week. They're going to Hawaii, spending $400 or $500 at 5-star hotels. They're going to Greece, and all these kind of places. They're going to Thailand for a week. I think that was ridiculous. That was $1, if I'm not mistaken. And they're having these experiences, and these are real experiences. So they were not doing it because of him. They were doing it because this is the best thing that they've had since sliced bread. Right. But that's what they continue to do. Then they continue to share with more people. Well, that book of business that was earning $25,000 or so a year, 17 months later, was earning more than $170,000 a year. Now, this is not Coach D. This is not his wife's business. This is the bit because they had their business independently, but together. So understand this. She only wanted to make about $1,500 a month. She's 10 times over that or more. His business is $170 a year. By the end of this year, it closes out. I'm sure it's going to be well over $200,000. What is the moral of this story? I am not telling you to quit your job. I'm not telling you to resign, but I'm telling you a plan B in this travel club is probably one of the wisest decisions you can make. We're not looking for everybody, but if this is of interest to you, we want you to reach out to the person that shared this with you. Get all of your questions answered. We have nothing to hide and nothing to lose, but so much to win. We'll see you at the beaches or where else?
The bank or both.
Or both. We love you guys. We're about to jump on this Faith Leaders call. If you're a person of faith or you know someone who is, you might want to direct them our way. It's going to be a private Zoom. We will push it through to the Facebook pages as well, but the best seats in the house will be in the Zoom room. Put it in the comments if you want that ID, and we'll meet you there on the other side. God bless you real good. Love you guys. Thank y'all so much.
Good night.